First of all, can everyone hear me? Can you hear me? All right, loud and clear. I see yes. Very cool. All right, just curious, where are you calling in from? Let me give some shout outs. That'd be great. I see. Yeah, no, let's see. No screen should be showing now. It wasn't just a second ago. All right, I see Atlanta, Chicago, Jersey, California, Sydney, Minneapolis, Ottawa, Naples, Ohio, Tampa Bay, Alberta, Columbus, Texas, UK, Botswana, South Dakota, Milwaukee, Ontario, Frederick, Maryland, Louisiana, Houston, Alaska. Very nice. All right. Well, let's go ahead and let's just get the party started. So, tonight, I am going to be sharing with you 3 steps to a big duplication inside of network marketing. And to help you out, some very simple tips for you that I hope will impact you and your team and your business and help you out, even if you do not have a team just yet. I think that this will give you some tips that might just help you with that scenario. So let's rock and roll. So I'm just curious, a couple quick questions. I always like to get you in the right frame of mind. How would you feel if you had more than enough money coming into your household every single month? How would that feel for you? Would that be cool, awesome, nice, super sweet? Feel free to let me know. Feel free to type her in. I see great, I see awesome. And the reason I say it like that, more than enough, right? You got enough to, take care. Maybe you got some kiddos. Maybe you want to do some traveling. Maybe you got some bills to cover. More than enough, right? That'd be cool. And what if in creating that income, you inspired others and you loved doing what you were doing? To me, that's more important. I mean, it's just so important, not just to make a lot of money, but to really, really resonate with and love what it is that we are doing. I think that is just so cool, and we want to show you how to do that. So first, let me just answer this question: why listen to me? So I always know that no matter, we've done these for 8 years now, 9 years maybe, and I always know there's always someone on for the very first time. And they're like, who is this guy? Should I be listening to him? So I'll share a little bit about me. There's me, my beautiful wife, Jessica, and our baby girl, Sabrina Bear, who's now getting to almost 18 months old, actually. And I was born in Seymour, Indiana. Go Colts. I currently live in Southwest Florida. And a little bit about my career, my history. I didn't finish high school on time. I never finished college, and I was in personal foreclosure a few years ago. So, so far, I'm probably not doing a very convincing job that you should bother listen to anything I have to say. But, we've been able to turn things around a little bit, and it's been a pretty cool last few years. I did become the #1 income earner in a network marketing company I joined while in foreclosure. I've since been blessed and honored to share the stage with rock stars like Eric Worre, Tony Robbins, Bob Proctor, Robert Kiyosaki, Gary Vaynerchuk, Brendon Burchard, Les Brown, a whole bunch more. And this past year, our coaching and training company hit the Inc. 5000 list. For those that don't know what that is Inc. is a magazine that recognizes the 5,000 fastest growing companies in America, and we were in the top 1,000. Very blessed for that. I think it's a testament to the network marketing profession. Shows that there's a lot of people out there serious about taking their business to the next level and growing their network marketing company. And so we think that's pretty darn cool. We no longer actively grow a network marketing team, so you're safe. I'm not trying to recruit you. I'm not trying to close you into my deal. But we just focus on coaching and training the profession. We work with different companies. We work with a lot of different leaders. And, we just look to help network marketers all around the world and all different companies increase their ability to recruit more reps, get more leads, and become top earners in their company. So stick around, because tonight we got some cool stuff for you. 3 steps to bigger and better duplication in your team. These are tips that I wish I had heard earlier on in my network marketing career. I'm going to give you some very practical advice. This isn't theory. This isn't stuff that you don't really know how to apply, you'll be able to apply it right away. And I'm also going to share with you, give you the scoop, the full scoop on a program that we'll be running for the next 90 days that will help you with rank advancing and really taking your network marketing skill set to the next level, and also just having a lot of fun with us. And I do, some of you who've been on our different webinars this week, you're aware of this, but I just want to make you fully aware that tomorrow is your final chance. So tomorrow is your final chance to grab your seat to our Top Earner Success School. For those that don't know what that is, I'll share with you toward the end of this presentation what it is, but it's a 90-day curriculum that we have put together, and we haven't ran one of these for 2.5 years now, but it actually has generated so many testimonials, and so many people have rank advanced and recruited people and really blown up their business because of it. I'll share with you some of the details before we get to questions toward the end of this training, but tomorrow is your final chance. Enrollment does end tomorrow at midnight, and you can check it out at rayhigdon.com/TESS. So if you dig our kind of style of training, highly suggest you grab your seat and get all the bonuses before we close her down tomorrow night. That's rayhigdon.com/TESS. And so here's the truth about duplication. You hear a lot of people that they say, well, if it's got to duplicate, right? Everything's got to be duplicatable and duplication. And I'll tell you, here's the real truth. The truth is, many people in your team won't duplicate anything, even if it's duplicable. Now, there's debate on, is it duplicable? Is it duplicatable? I don't know. I don't know the right term, but even if every single thing you are doing is duplicable and is step by step and anybody and everybody can do it, the truth is, I'm sorry, but the truth is many people in your team just won't duplicate anything. And that's okay. It's actually okay. We have a little bit different slant when it comes to duplication. And this is kind of I guess this would be a bonus tip because I don't really cover it in today's training, but I'm kind of feeling the need to share it, is we don't feel that source of leads has to be so focused on being duplicatable. And here's what I mean. So if you are in a health and wellness network marketing company, just for example, and you go and let's say that you have an appointment at your doctor's office, and you talk to your doctor, and the doctor says, oh my goodness, man, I like what you're saying about the company you're with. I want to join. Okay. And so that doctor joins your network marketing health and wellness company, and all of a sudden he or she starts telling their patients about the company and starts recruiting like crazy. Well, is that duplicatable? Of course not, right? What do you got to get a medical degree? You got to get a medical office. You got to get, insane amount of insurance, and then you'll be recruiting like crazy, right? Well, that's not duplicatable, but would you turn it away? Would you say, sorry, doc, you're not duplicatable, no thanks? Okay. So what if you're in any network marketing company and you're in the airport and you happen to bump into Brian Tracy or a Les Brown or some kind of celebrity type person that has a humongous following, and they want to join your team and tell other followers about it? Well, is that duplicatable? No, it's not. Would you turn it away? Probably not, right? I would think not. If you're in a travel company, would you turn away a pilot? Probably not, right? So you need to understand, and in our observation and opinion, source of lead isn't so important to be duplicatable. What you do with the lead is important. And I am going to talk about that in tonight's training. So what you do with prospects and leads. For example, I would tell that, celebrity trainer or that doctor or that pilot, I would show them a way to utilize tools so that, they could be more duplicatable and give their people a better chance, right? And so we'll talk about that here tonight, but just know that there are a lot of things that if you run them through the duplication filter, you probably just wouldn't do. And sometimes it's just realize some people just aren't gonna do anything, right? And I'll even talk to you a little bit about how to handle that, okay? So tonight's tip, we're gonna help tip the scales in your favor, but just recognize that amazing uplines have complete slackers in their team sometimes, just like terrible uplines sometimes have leaders. And so just understand, it's not, the pressure isn't on you to, or at least you should relieve yourself from the pressure. The pressure isn't on you to have every single person in your team a super leader making lots of money. And if you are addicted to the idea that every person in your team is going to make tons of money, you're going to put too much pressure on yourself, and it's going to create an environment where people don't want to be you. And if people don't want to be you, the leader, then you got a bigger problem than your worry there. So we'll talk a little bit about that. So step number 1, I'm going to give you 3 steps to help you increase your duplication. How do they feel? And I want to ask you this question. Have you ever been in a terrible job or with a terrible boss? Well, would you feel good recommending someone apply there? Like if someone said, let's say you're in this job and you go to work every day and you just dread it. Man, I mean, you're counting your Sunday night, you're looking at the clock and you're like, oh man, I got to go back tomorrow. Like you don't enjoy your boss. You don't enjoy the job. The environment there sucks, and people are backstabbing. There's drama. There's, people talking crap behind each other and all kinds of just nastiness, right? And the boss is rude and mean and never recognizes your efforts. If a job became open in that kind of scenario, would you go and tell your buddies about it? Would you go and say, hey guys, we got a job opening? Probably not. Probably not. You would probably say, man, I hope my friends aren't so unfortunate that they stumble upon this job opening, right? Well, that is important for you to understand, because how the people feel in your team is extremely important. And it's not just catering to the super leaders. So understand that in any network marketing company, in any network marketing team, I should say, there's somewhere between 3 to maybe 7% of the people in the team really want to kill it. They just want to make $30,000 a month, $50,000 a month, $100,000 a month. The majority of the people, they can't see themselves doing that, so they don't really pursue it. And if you push them toward that, you're going to create resistance, and you're going to create the feeling that they are letting you down, like they're disappointing you. Okay? If you went into a job every day and you constantly felt like you were disappointing the leaders there, would you want to stay? Would you want to be like, yay, I'm going to go in and disappoint yet again, right? They got all these big goals for me and I'm not hitting them. Let me go back in there. Probably not. You're probably not looking forward to that. And so one of the major mistakes, and hey, this was me preaching to me years ago, because one of the mistakes I made is, when I first got serious about network marketing, I would get on training calls, and if you weren't prospecting 10 people a day, it's like, what the hell are you doing? What's going on here, right? Get to work. And I created an environment where people, either they snapped in line and started, doing massive action, or they felt like they were letting me down. And, people won't ever tell you, hey, I feel like I'm disappointing you. They'll just disappear. So all of a sudden they're off auto ship of a product or a service that they loved, but they just don't want to be in that environment. And so you need to constantly understand that there are people that have different desires for success inside of your team. There are people that are so happy to be in the team just to be in the team, right? Maybe they don't have a great environment at work. Maybe they don't even have a great environment at home. But they got a great environment by seeing other people kill it. They're applauding everyone else. They're loving on the people that are rank advancing and are doing the things to grow the business. They love the product, the service. But if you push them too hard, if you have, they must want to have the same kind of success I want. If you have that kind of feeling, you're going to make them feel bad. And if you make them feel bad, they're not going to stick around. And so you have to look at, okay, what is the culture of the team? How are people made to feel? And that is very, very important. And, this is something that alpha leaders, miss out on a lot. They think everyone wants that, Lamborghini, and everyone wants that $100,000 a month. And I'm just telling you, that's a very, very small percentage of people. There's way, way more people in your team that would love to get maybe the product for free, or would just like to hang out with you, would just like to see you at an event and high five you, would just like to use the service of the product, etc. And there's nothing wrong with that. From working with a lot of big leaders, I mean, over the last 4 years, we've worked with 20, 25 different $1 million a year earners as clients. We've worked with people that have built teams of 100,000, 300,000, 700,000, and I can tell you, 100% of the time, the majority of people in those teams, you're not looking at 2,000 leaders. You got 2,000 people that are killing it, 6-7 figures a year. You're looking at a handful of super leaders and a whole bunch of people just excited to be in there. They're excited to be in there. They love the leadership, the training, the support, the community. And if you point out that they're not reaching some level of success that you think they should be, then they're going to leave. They're going to leave, and that's a problem. Okay. Step number 2. Tools, not talent. This is another example that I needed to learn, okay? And so you want to create/use tools for exposure and training versus require talent. So if you are teaching a red hot topic, so let's say that you just have a killer way to reach out to cold market, right, at the mall or at a restaurant or at a networking meeting or whatever. And you just if someone has a question, you just get on the phone with them and just knock it out, man. You just rock it out. You get an amazing speech for it, and that's where it stops. That's a major problem, because they can't repeat what you just said in the manner that you repeated it, and they're going to think, what are they going to think, right? If you're really good at teaching a particular topic, then what they're going to do is they're going to say, well, I can't teach it that good. Let me get people on the phone with this guy or with this woman. She's so good at talking about it. Let me just get my people, get them signed up, and then get them on the phone with this person, right? And that's a problem, okay? You have to use tools for exposure, but also for training. And let me tell you, when, like I said earlier, we no longer actively build a network marketing team. We focus on coaching and training the profession as a whole, just a decision that we made. And, but the last, probably 5 years of growing a network marketing team, I never, not once, did a one-on-one full-blown presentation where I was the presenter one-on-one. Now, I could have. I mean, I'd done the presentation in group only 1,000 times, right? So I could have, but I never wanted the prospect to walk away with thinking they had to be super presenter. I always would use a video, and here's the kicker. Here's the kicker. Could I present better than the video? Absolutely. No question. Now that's a major thing for you to understand psychologically, okay? So I just told you that I could present better than the company tool, but I would use the company tool anyway, okay? Because I didn't want the prospect to think, oh, I got to be super talented. I got to be super Mr. Presenter. And so, I gotta, I gotta bone up on my public speaking skills. And no, I wanted them to use the video, even if it was less effective. And let me give you another example. So my main mentor last year built a real estate education company from 0 to $250 million a year. And I worked with him for 11, 12 months, and he built, this humongous company. Well, at one point, he stopped being, even though he's an amazing speaker, an amazing trainer, he stopped doing that and brought in other people who weren't as good, but it allowed him to scale. And there's a very powerful book out there. It's a pretty hardcore business book. So definitely not required reading for network marketers, but if you're like a business kind of nut like I am, there's a book out there called Scaling Up by Vern Harnish. And in the book, Scaling Up, it says, if you want to grow a business, outsource your weakness. Now that's good advice, right? That's good advice because, hey, if, I suck at technology, so I don't do much in technology. I have other people around me that I point to help me out with that. If you want to grow, outsource your weakness. If you want to scale, outsource your strength. Now, this is something people don't talk about, okay? But what you're doing when you take and you are an amazing presenter, but you choose to use a tool instead, okay, and show people that they can also use that tool, you are now more scalable. And so even if you are super presenter, you're just amazing, you're the comedian, you're the amazing Hollywood-like presenter, even if that's the case, use a tool. Use something that they can use. Very, very powerful, okay? And so it's better. This is crazy. It's wild, okay? Because in other, like sales type organizations or professions, this would not be the case, okay? But in network marketing, it is better for you to master promotion than presentation. It's better for you to master promotion than presentation. You promoting a tool, you promoting an event, you promoting a way for people to get exposed rather than you being super presenter. And that should be good news. There's only one thing that people are afraid of more than death, and that's public speaking. And I used to be there. I used to be terrified of public speaking. I used to not sleep at night if I had to do a presentation for my corporate job that I was in. Okay, I hated it. Better for you to master promotion, not presentation. And is it easier? Is it easier to master promotion? Totally. You can say less. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to impress them. You just have to learn how to get them intrigued enough to go and take a look at a tool. Much, much different. Now, question for you. When you recruit a new person, where do you plug them in for a fast start training, or where do you plug them in for training? And if you said, well, I just hope they get to the next event, that's a terrible answer. Okay? You have to, you need to not just, it's not enough for you to have a leader or for you to be the leader who's an amazing trainer if you don't have an archive, if you don't have an area of training that people can plug their people into. And so it's not enough to teach. You got to teach to teach. So you got to teach your people, hey, here's where you find the answers to your training issues or your questions around growing your business, but also here's where you plug your people in. So I can tell you without a doubt, from talking with just thousands of network marketers over the years, is there are people in your team that if they don't feel confident that they have a place they can plug their new reps in, they won't recruit them. If they don't know what to do with a brand new rep, they won't recruit them. And you got people out there and you're like, man, I wish they were recruiting more. And they literally will never recruit anyone if they don't know exactly how to plug them in. Because here's what happens. Someone who doesn't know where to plug a new person in, they think that they have to do everything. They think that they have to, they're like, well, how can I recruit someone? I'm not making money. It's the whole chicken before the egg thing. Think about that. Like, you have people, I guarantee you, if you have any size of team, you have people in your team that are like, well, I can't recruit anyone because, I'm not making any money. I can't teach them to make any money. Think about that. That's a deadly cycle. If you're not recruiting anyone because you can't make money, well, how will you ever make money? How will you ever make money? You can't. It's not possible. And so you have to show them, hey, when you recruit someone, plug them into the Facebook group, plug them into the training archive, run them through this fast start training that teaches them where to find the resources, how to get a hold of customer support, where to welcome new reps, what they can do, right? Show them. It's not enough. A system is not just where to show the presentation. That's part of a system, okay? It's not a system. So if you think, if I said, hey, do you have a system? And you say, yeah, man, we show them this presentation, we follow up with them. That's not a system. That's part of a system, but it's not a system. A system is, where can I get answers to my questions? Where can I get, where can I get help with back office issues, and how do I go about that? Where do I plug new people in? And how do I expose new people? What do I, what goes there. Okay, so I'm just curious. Helpful so far? I'm hitting you with some stuff here that maybe you haven't heard before. So I'm just curious. Is this helpful? Look at, my goodness, I got Lisa Grossman on here. Now I'm all nervous. Now I'm sweating. Oh my goodness. We got some rock stars on here. This is incredible. This is absolutely incredible. All right. So step number 3, recognize between ranks. Now nobody talks about this. Okay. Recognize between ranks. Now your company, hopefully, now you should do this too. I'm not saying, put the pressure on your company. And by the way, some of the most profitable leaders that you never hear about, they don't rely on their company for like anything, okay? They rely on their company to send a check, and they rely on their company to ship a product, and that's it, okay? So I know that some people, it's kind of gotten into the, I think in this, maybe last, decade or something like this, they've gotten into the, the network marketing companies should do all things, but hey, if they're not providing great training, if they're not providing the culture, community, training, leadership that is required for you to grow a massive team, then you need to step up. You need to put your big girl pants on, your big boy pants on, and you need to step up. And so your company, hopefully, should, in today's day and age, I think most companies will help those that hit rank. They'll recognize them on stage. They'll, hit them with a badge or a pin or a crown or a, cane or whatever else, right? And you should too, right? You obviously, you should be recognizing them as well. But what about those in between ranks? What about those in between ranks? And so you want to recognize and give love to and promote and edify and just hug and squeeze and love on those who are doing work, those who are exposing customers, those that are bringing in customers, those that are, showing up to the trainings, those that are doing all the things that might be in between ranks, right? They may not, they may not, they may be a little bit in between. And, usually a comp plan, there are like stop gaps. Okay, so sometimes you hit bronze, silver, gold, and then there's a big gap between gold and let's say ruby, right, or whatever, diamond, and then there's a huge gap between diamond 1, diamond 2. And so look at your organization, and if you have a large organization, look at where are the stop gaps. Do you have a whole bunch of 1-star diamonds, and they just kind of stay there, and how long have they been there? They've been there forever. Well, look at how do you start to recognize those in the hunt, those that are hungry, those that are showing up and doing the work, doing the efforts. And I'll tell you one, I'll give you a tip around this, but you want to create ways to recognize them in between that isn't going to crush you with work, all right? So what I don't want to do is I don't want you putting in, 40 hours a week to run reports in your back office and make sure you got, you're sending out little trophies to everybody and you're spending a bajillion dollars a week on that. I don't want you to do that, but we got a little bit different example for you. So you can create weekly sheets that your reps update, okay? That your reps update and earn them maybe badges, just as an example. Okay, and one of our clients from a few years ago, Jessica Nelson, just a total rock star in her company, she showed us a couple really, really cool things that she was doing, and we tested them out with our team, and they work like crazy. But you can create, let's imagine that you have a team, and you have a Facebook group, hopefully. I think that's how most people are kind of operating nowadays, is they put their team into a Facebook group. And in that Facebook group, you have just a weekly little sheet where people can track their activity. And you can assign, edifying type badges, stickers, little digital signifiers that recognize them. And so, maybe it's, hey, if you prospect 4 people this week, you get a, jet setter badge, right? If you, recruit 2 this week, you get a MVP, status, right? Weekly MVP status, okay? And you can ratchet these all the way up to have a bajillion of them, all recognizing effort. Now, what's cool about effort, and I'll give you a little tip around parenting, all right? There's a great book out there There's actually two great books on parenting that I highly recommend. One is 30 Million Words by Dana Susskind, and that's where they studied the difference between kind of poorer families and homes versus more affluent families and homes. And what they found is there's like a difference of like 30 million words that are spoken in the affluent homes versus the less privileged homes. And so simply saying more words. But one of the things, I could go about an hour on that book right there. But one of the things that they highly suggested was do not edify innate talent. Okay. Now this is a step in a different direction from like the 70s. So in the 70s, I believe, from what I understand, right? I mean, I wasn't born that long ago, but but in the 70s, it was very popular for you to use phrases like, "Oh my God, you're so smart," and you're so this and you're so that, and to really praise innate talent, hoping that would increase the belief in the child. The problem that can create is if you're praising innate talent, then the child can grow to think that they're either good at something or not. So what you praise instead is you praise effort. You praise effort. So when my my baby girl Sabrina, when she's trying to hustle up and climb the couch or climb anything or really do anything, I don't say, "Oh my God, you're such a good climber." I say, "Good effort. Hey, you can do it. Way to go. Keep trying. Try again." I praise effort. And, you praising effort is so powerful. Now, think about this. Do people in family units typically get effort praised? Not usually, right? It's usually result praised. In network marketing, can they really possibly praise effort? No, because your company, there's so many people in your company, at least in most companies, they can't go out and say, "Okay, guys, if you prospected 100 people this past month, come on up here, get your award." They don't have that kind of time, because they have a lot of people that they can praise results. So you taking the stance of praising effort, guess what? Will get them more results. Okay, we'll get them more results. Now, this is a really, really, in my opinion, a massively hot topic, and we're going to cover that in detail. I have a whole plan for this in our Top Earner Success School session on team building. But anyway, I digress. So, good tips so far. Helpful? I know I told you 3 tips. I actually gave you like 4 or 5, maybe 6 tips. Okay, good stuff. I'm looking for comments. Let's see. Okay. Vicky says, "Love this." Seeing some comments. Cool. All right. Great. Awesome. Cool. All right. So let's keep moving. So, and before we get to Q&A, we'll cover a couple things here. So the simple truth is, what I've seen truly change people the most with the highest percentage of success is to up-level who you spend time with. If you surround yourself with a group of highly motivated people for a period of time, your success is way more likely. Way more likely. Okay? And I'll tell you, attending an annual event or a quarterly event is not enough. And I say this, and I am the biggest preacher. I'm the sermon of getting to your company events, right? You should get to your company events. It's the only way that you're going to possibly have, a massive team. And in our last webinar that I did a couple days ago, we talked about how, the rule of roughly for every person you have in your team at an event, you're probably going to average out to about $1,000 a person for that year. So if you have, people that typically get 50 people to a big annual event are usually going to be making somewhere between $50,000 to $100,000 a year. And so I'm preaching that it's so important for you to get to your company event. However, it's not enough. Okay. And we found that you need a different environment, an environment of people who are really fired up and really focused on growing their business and staying on track and being consistent, etc. And the truth is, most uplines aren't able to create this type of environment, so we did. And so the other night I used an analogy that I think, may be helpful to you. It might don't be upset at me for this if you're like a chiropractor or something. I love chiropractors, they're amazing, but going to an annual event is kind of like getting your bones snapped in place. Okay. And so like if you have subluxation and you have a hip out or something like that, and you get it, pop back into place, that's kind of like an annual event. An annual event pops you into place, tells you, hey, here's what you should be doing. And let me adjust you properly. However, there is something that overrides that bone manipulation. And the bone manipulation, what overrides it is your muscle memory. Okay, so muscle memory, if you adjust, if you're getting your bones adjusted, your spine adjusted, your hip adjusted, your whatever, fill in the blank adjusted, and it's an inert bone, something that cannot move, right? It's just there, okay? Your muscle memory will always, 100% of the time, pull it back into, or should I say, back out of place, okay? So adjusting a bone without changing the muscle memory will never fix you. You have to change the muscle memory. And the muscle memory in this analogy here, you're like, what the hell is he talking about? The muscle memory in this analogy is your environment. You have memory around your environment. So people go to these annual events, they get fired up, they shoot their guns in the air, there's love and life, right? They're unstoppable, they're bulletproof, they're ready to run through brick walls, and then they get back in that chair in their kitchen with the kids running around, with the dirty microwave, with the toys everywhere. They get back in that cubicle in their job where there's demanding. They get back in rush hour. They get back in that. That is your muscle memory. And so you have to alter that muscle memory if you ever want to actually make real progress. Now, some people can do it all on their own, right? There are some, 2%ers out there that are just like, rock stars, and they don't need anybody else around them. They don't need any support. They don't need anything. And when you find them, they always stand out. You're like, yay, I found a rock star, right? It's awesome. I don't have to do hardly anything, and they're killing it. But the truth is, the majority of people, they need to alter that environment. And we know that's very difficult for most people to do. And so we did it. We put it together. And before we get to questions, I just want to share with you guys something that has helped more people than almost anything we've ever created. And the crazy part is we haven't offered this in over 2.5 years. And that is our Top Earner Success School. So Top Earner Success School, like I said earlier, is a 90-day program. It's not a course. Let me be very clear. It's not a course. This is a program. This is an experience. This is this is not a course. It's not something that we just shoot out to you and you just consume and good luck to you. No, this is 90 days with us where we're running challenges, where we're teaching in-depth training. This is not just accountability. Hey, what did you do? Or, how many people did you talk to? Okay, that we can have parts of that, and there will be parts of that in there, but it's way, way more of an experience of let me teach you deeply on a very powerful topic, and then let me give you backup homework assignment with a contest and prizes so that you can actually implement what we taught and truly learn it. You see, when you're at an event, and guys, we run events. Okay, we run events. We run 3 events every single year. That's open to the public that people can come to, and then we run private events for our clients. But we run events, so I'm not bashing events. I'm a big fan. But what happens at events is you don't learn at the event. Okay, you get a concept. You learn in the field. You learn when you lace up your cleats and you run on the field. You learn when you're getting your jersey dirty. Okay, that's when you learn, not at the event. The event prepares you to learn the skills and tactics and etc. that you go and implement. Okay, but you're not actually learning that. See, there's a lot of people that they think they know a lot until you look at their results. And so okay, just like me. Why did I work with that mentor for a year who built a $250 million a year company? Because I haven't done that. I haven't built a $250 million a year company yet, right? We haven't done it. And so I don't know how to, right? That's why I hired somebody. And so, that's what you know. But anyway, I digress. Before we get to Q&A, let me just explain what this looks like. So Top Earner Success School is the premier training to help you get modern improvement strategies to help you in a structured yet challenging environment reach your network marketing goals. This isn't some course that you can just hide behind. This isn't some course that, it's not shelf help where you just throw it on the shelf and there you go. It is a very structured program for people who seriously want to transform. And, don't take my word for it, by the way. Here's Angela. Prior to Top Earner Success School, I had not recruited anyone. During Top Earner Success School, by following the teachings, I was able to rank advance, double my product sales, and personally recruit 5 reps. I now even have leads reaching out to me. Here's Chris. Since Top Earner Success School, I've now prospected over 100 people, recruited 13 reps to get a total of 50 more reps in and 6 customers. Okay? And maybe you feel like you don't have credibility or you've never made money. Well, here's 3 more for you. And these all 3 had never recruited anyone before Top Earner Success School. Okay? So here's Linda. And what's great about Linda is this testimonial is actually from several years ago, and she is since such a rock star. She's actually an author now. She's just killing it. She's amazing. And so she says, I had never done a thing in my network marketing company for 2 years. I was terrified of picking up the phone. Since Top Earner Success School, I recruited 2 into my network marketing company with a 3rd on the way and have more leads for my blog than ever before. Now, maybe you're reading that and you're just like, oh, 2, well, hey, if you go 2 years without recruiting anybody and you recruit 2, and obviously it was in a less than 90-day span, that's actually pretty awesome. That creates belief, not just in you, but in the entire team that watched her do this. Very, very powerful. Connie, prior to Top Earner Success School, I hadn't recruited anyone, had no customers, no leads, and had been trying for 3 years. Just last week, met with 5 people, 2 of them became customers, 1 signed up. I'm also now getting 1 to 15 leads per week, all thanks to Top Earner Success School. And here's Amita. Taking Top Earner Success School has been one of the best business decisions for me for my network marketing business. Prior to Tess, I had never recruited anyone, and since recruited my first 3. I'm new to the industry, and the information you provide is a recipe for success. I've started messaging at least 20 people a day, and last week I had 7 local appointments. And she goes on to say, Tess shined a spotlight on the beliefs that was holding me back. I realized I was afraid of what other people thought of me. Now I'm letting everyone know about my business. Pretty cool. So maybe it's just a simple tweak. Maybe you'll get a simple tweak inside Top Earner Success School. Here's Jill. She says, through Tess, I've learned that by not playing big in life, I'm cheating myself and others. And I really believe that there's a handful of people on here that if you started playing big, you have no idea what kind of impact you'll start making. You have no idea. And I really believe that. So she goes on and says, I've learned the most important component to success is a clear vision and belief. I've developed a strong posture and have conquered my fears of approaching prospects. After being an MLM for over a year, I recruited my first teammate and now have a full pipeline of prospects. Super cool. So how does it work? Enrollment ends tomorrow at midnight. And it does start the very first week of April. And we'll be doing 9 training sessions over the next 90 days starting in April, and 9 strategic implementation and Q&A sessions. Now, those are live. So I will be on there. It'll be a group scenario where you'll be able to ask questions, and we'll tweak and give you some suggestions on how to attack the contest, how to win, and different questions that you may have around your network marketing business. And I will tell you, this is a challenge. Okay, this is not let me just hide behind a course or let me hide behind a book and never do anything. This is a challenge. This is what it's designed for. We created this to really take a person and transform them. That's why we have it. And we want you to rank advance. We want you to show up to that next company event at a different rank. That's what we want, seriously. And we think that this is the way to do it. So real quickly, let's cover the curriculum. So session number 1 is all about a vision. And I'll just tell you this. I'm not going to read all this, but it's actually on the page. I'll share with you here in a second. But vision, if you aren't consistent, let me just go back. If you aren't consistent in your business, it's because of one thing. It's not because you aren't aware of daily routine. It's because you lack a vision for who you want to become. And this is a very, very powerful dive into how to craft a vision for your life. And let me tell you, we haven't ran a Top Earner Success School in the last 2.5 years. And where we've grown in regards to all of these sessions, but maybe especially this one, this is going to be a powerhouse session. Now keep in mind, every one of these sessions I'm recording now. Okay, so these aren't 2-year-old, these aren't 3-year-old, these aren't old sessions that people have seen. These are brand new information where we're altering what we've learned over the last few years and we're pouring it into these sessions. Session number 2, all around cold market. And this is something I find is very, very important for network marketers to not only learn, but be able to teach to their team as well. And so session 2, cracking the cold market. Session number 3, something that hardly any company ever talks about, and that's closing. Guess what? You don't have to be pushy to be a good closer. You should be pulley. Okay, so we pull people into wanting to join and wanting to sign up and wanting to become a customer. We don't push or hard close anybody, right? It's just not the style. It's not the way that we teach. So we teach you how to use your posture to get more people into your business. Session number 4, attraction marketing. You know, this is something that if you're not doing, you're crazy, right? I mean, you're just nuts. If you're not at least attempting to get people to start reaching out to you, you are working too hard. And so we want to teach you how can you do very simple things regardless of what company you're in and get people reaching out to you to want to work with you. It's very powerful. Session number 5, all around content creation, and we will talk a little bit about blogging. You do not have to have a blog. In fact, I would say 9 times out of 10, the people that go through tests do not have a blog, okay? So you don't have to be a blogger, you don't have to have a blog, but we will talk about creating content. And this is something that it's just very, I don't know how you could possibly dominate any industry, whether it's health and wellness or travel or network marketing or anything, without creating content, and we will talk a lot about that. Session number 6, all around branding. Wherever you go, there you are, and people join you. They don't join a business, they don't join a company, they join you. That's how network marketing works. So how can we teach you how to get people attracted to you, and how can you brand yourself so people want to work with you? We cover that. Very simple strategies, very simple tips. Doesn't require a video studio or anything fancy. There's very simple tweaks that you can make to start branding yourself very powerfully. Session number 7, speaking. Now, this is definitely one of my passions, and here's the deal. When you start to show up, by the time you've gotten to session number 7, here's what I guarantee you. You will be showing up to life differently. That's a guarantee. Okay. Now, I can't tell you if you're going to be making $100,000 or $1 billion a year. I can't tell you that because I don't know where you are. I don't know where we're starting from. But I will tell you this. You stick with us. You go through those first 6 sessions. By session 7, you're no longer the same person. You are different. You are showing up differently. Your friends are saying, man, there's something different about you. What's, you're on new vitamins, you get a haircut, you do makeup or something. Yeah, you're going to start getting questions. By session 7, I want to share with you how to be a powerful and persuasive speaker so that if you're ever asked at a meeting, or if someone says, hey, would you run this meeting for me? Or hey, can you speak tomorrow night? You're able to actually step up into that and persuade that audience into loving you and being fired up and feeling their greatness as well. So that's session number 7, all around speaking. Session number 8, team building. Now you may wonder, well, geez, Ray, why is this session number 8? I mean, isn't this more important than some of those other things? Maybe, you could argue that, but we purposely put it here because there's a lot of skill sets we're going to be building into this session, and I want to teach you those individual kind of skill sets before we get to team building. And so this is next level kind of stuff, and this is where we're going to talk about how to, our concepts around crafting the badges and how to give better recognition. Because I'll tell you, someone, just like Napoleon said, people will die for strips of ribbon on their chest, right? And he was referring to medals, right, for the military. And so we're going to teach you how to have that recognition. If you have great recognition in your team, do you realize hardly anyone's going to want to leave? They're going to feel good. And like one of my mentors, Lisa Grossman, taught me, is people do not stay in an environment where they're made to feel bad. They stay in an environment where they feel good. And we teach you how to create that environment. And then session number 9 is tying it all together and where to go from here. And so what I don't want to do, which is unfortunately what a lot of events do, is I don't want to leave you high and dry. I don't want you to say, hey, give me a big standing ovation for my amazing program, right? No, I want to say, okay, here's the next steps for you. Here's what to do. Here's how to run accountability contests for your team. Here's how to do this. Here's how to, take your next 6 leaders and take them to the next level. I want to show you what to do after the 90 days. So wrapping it all together, giving you a game plan for post Top Earner Success School, and really taking it to the next level. Now, any of these sessions could completely blow you away, but I do greatly encourage you to go through each session, to stick with us. I'm only asking for 90 days. I'm not asking for 9 years. I'm not asking for 12 months. I'm asking for 90 days. Stick with us, do the contest, win some prizes, get some recognition. Because by the way, as we go through this, I'm always looking for who can I recognize, who can I give some exposure to, who can I have on our podcast, who can I have on our blog, who can I feature on a Facebook Live. I'm always looking for that kind of stuff. And this is going to give you that opportunity to shine. And I'd love to highlight you as a success story. In our group setting, I'm telling you, we have a private Facebook group where you're going to have the biggest cheerleaders on the planet. And it's going to weird you out, because here's what I guarantee. You're going to have better support and better cheerleading than you have in your team Facebook group. And I don't mean no disrespect, right? But that's just the environment that we create. And it is a safe zone. There's no recruiting in there. You recruit, you're out, right? If you attempt to recruit or prospect, you're out. And that's a very strict rule. We adhere to it. Please don't test us on that, because we don't care. We're going to boot you. It doesn't matter who you are. So just so you know, right? We got to protect the group. We got to protect the tribe. And again, like I said, we have challenges with potential prizes, et cetera. But we also have some cool bonuses. So if you decide to grab your seat, we got a few bonuses for you. Number one, we're going to take every single session and strip out the audio and make it an MP3 for you that you can listen to at the gym, in the car, or wherever you want. We're also going to give you lifetime access to your recordings. So it doesn't go away after 90 days. If a year from now you want to revisit the one on closing so that you convert more of your traffic or convert more leads, then go for it. You'll have lifetime access to those recordings. And we're also going to give you some suggested homework, because we're not getting this started till the first week of April. We're stopping enrollment tomorrow night, but we're going to give you some suggested homework or suggested value, and that is we're giving you our Top Earner Marketing Bootcamp event recordings. Now, people paid thousands of dollars to be at that event, and they traveled from all over the world. We had people from Singapore, Malaysia, Australia, UK, Portugal, Germany, Nigeria. We had people from all over the world. You get to sit at home and go through 3 days of our very best training on marketing and how to get more leads reaching out to you, etc. That we're throwing in. And by the way, we sell this all day long for $497. That bonus right there that we're throwing in, we sell for $497 all day long, just so you know. And we're also going to transcribe every single session. You're going to have an ebook with everything transcribed. So if there's a script in cold market you want to review, but you don't want to find it in the video, go through the transcription and you'll be able to flip to it and just open it up. Everything, by the way, is digital. We don't charge you any shipping. You don't have to wait or delay or anything like that. It's all digital for you. And so that right there is over $2,000 worth of bonuses. And just to quickly go through before we get to Q&A, here's all the different things that you're actually getting. Over $7,000 worth of value with Top Earner Success School. And, we just think it's really going to help you out. So you may be wondering, how much, man? Is there a layaway program? Do I have to sell a kidney? How much is this thing? Well, I can tell you that it is, without a doubt, worth over $7,000. In fact, I'd love to, the people that have gone through Top Earner Success School, I'm just curious. I know, because there's always, past alumni on, my live streams and on my webinars. Hey, do you think it was worth, you going through Top Earner Success School? Was it worth $7,000? I'm just curious, seriously. And I know that's a big ticket number. And if you ask people who've gone through Top Earner Success School, which we haven't ran for 2.5 years, I'm going to tell you, they're going to tell you yes. They're going to say absolutely no question. Now, that's not obviously what we're going to charge, not what your investment is. It's not even half that. We have one of our coaching programs is a year program for $22,000. We could easily charge $2,000 for this, no question. And I've seen courses going for that, that don't teach what we teach. And we wanted to really make it to where as many people can join us as possible that are serious. So we did something kind of crazy. So it's not $2,000. It's not $1,000. The last time we opened up enrollment, it was $697, which is, I think a very, very good deal for 90 days, 9 live sessions and 9 training sessions. However, we wanted to do it a little differently and just make it a total no-brainer. So you can get started. You can get everything that I've talked about here today, all the different bonuses, everything that I talked about, for 3 easy payments of $189. Or if you want to save even more, if you want to save $70, it's $497. Now, again, this is not a course. This is an experience. This is 3 months with us, of us looking over your shoulders, of us challenging you, of you being part of a group that is all determined to focus and really crush it and rank advance and really kill it. And you can get started. You can grab your seat at rayhigdon.com/TESS. That's rayhigdon.com/TESS. And this is something, again, we are closing enrollment tomorrow night, Friday, at midnight. And, you know, if you come to me on Saturday and say, Ray, pretty please with sugar berries on top, can I pretty please get on? You know, I hocked my watch and I sold my bike and, you know, can I get it? You can't get in on Saturday. I'm just letting you know. And that's a strict rule. We are not reopening it. We are closing it Friday. That's it. And, you know, in the past, we've been flexible on that. And I just think an integrity issue, we're not doing it. So Friday night is it. That's your last chance. Hey, if you're going to join us, share it on social media. You'll be shocked at who is a graduate of Top Earner Success School, because we've had hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people go through our Top Earner Success School over the years. I think we've ran this will be our 4th time running it. And again, we haven't ran it in 2.5 years. You'll be blown away at who has gone through it. And so I know you're going to get excited when you see the contests and the prizes, and I think you're really going to dig it. And so if you decide to join tonight, I always love to reward those people who are just awesome decision makers. We got one more bonus for you, and that is how to grow your team through online trainings and conference calls. So this is a special training that I did that very few people have actually seen, but I think you'll really like it. That's a retail value of $197, just an additional total bonus for those that decide to get their seat tonight. That's at rayhigdon.com/TESS. So whether you decide to join us or not, I hope you got value from this. We always look at any of our trainings as, will someone get value whether they invest in their business and invest in themselves or not? I hope that that's the case for you, whether you do join us. Hopefully you got a tip or two, you got the idea about badges or whatever else. And if you do want to join us and work closely with us over the next 90 days, rayhigdon.com/TESS. You can also see probably 10, 15 more testimonials over there. You'll see different, I think we have some video testimonials over there as well. And check it out. Don't take my word for it. Hear what other people have to say about Top Earner Success School, and I think that it'll make a whole lot of sense for you. So let me check the time, see how I'm doing here. Okay, so we got... let me take a few questions. So if you have any questions, feel free to hit me. I'm going to pull those up. And if you are in with us, let me know. Type in, say, I'm in, I'm ready to rock and roll this thing. I'd love to recognize you, give some shout outs, and we'll rock it out. All right, so. Okay. John, can I go through the school after my coaching sessions are over? Yes. You can. I would suggest, coaching, just like a course, is preparation for action. I'll tell you, if you're blessed to have coaching sessions, then I would absolutely, without a question, without a shadow of a doubt, I would be doing my coaching sessions and going through Top Earner Success School. Because why not? Because we're really going to hone you into what action to take and give you a nice contest and give you some cool prizes to possibly win as well. And some of those prizes are pretty nice. So David, how you type response, you just typed it. So there you go. Okay, awesome, man. Way to go, Juan. I have to enroll. You'll do the 3 easy payments. Cool, totally cool. All right. Any other payment options? No, we saw the 2 payment options as, fairly flexible. You got, just so you know how the 189 works. So it's 189 now, and then 189 in 30 days, and then the final 189 30 days from there. So it's once a month kind of payments. We felt that was, fairly flexible. And it is on the page as well. So if you go to rayhigdon.com/TESS, it'll help you out. Okay. Yusuf, I don't know if I'm saying that right, but if you're getting some kind of error, then I would shoot an email to support@rayhigdon.com. Okay. You're welcome, Cynthia. All right. Lisa is in. Way to go. Very nice. Ruth asks, I guess she probably can't hear me. She says, am I the only one that lost audio? I'm guessing you can't hear me, so probably. Okay, step number 1 is talking, in this presentation, I talked about step number 1 is really paying attention to the feelings of your community, of your team, of your reps, and just making sure they're taken care of and not made to feel like they're disappointing you, or they're not, their level of success doesn't meet your criteria, etc. So that was step number 1. All right, Erwin liked my bone manipulation analogy. I've never heard someone use that. I'm sure some trainers will run with that one. That's a good one. Absolutely, Melissa. Melissa totally gets it. She says, this is great. It gives me more information to help my reps that I don't already do. Totally. Do you know what most leaders do when they've gone through Top Earner Success School is every single session, they're taking their notes and they're going into their team groups and saying, hey guys, I'm going through this program and I want to share with you some of my notes. Totally. It makes you a more valuable leader to your team. No question. Melissa, what do you do when you don't reply at all? I'm not sure what you're asking there. I must have missed the context there. Okay. Cool. Good stuff. Great tips. All right, cool. Awesome, guys. Well, hey, appreciate your time. Whether you decide to join us for the next 90 days or not, totally appreciate you. I hope you got value. We'll see you around. We do these, Top Earner Success School, we're probably just going to do once a year. So this is your shot between today and tomorrow. I hope you join us. I'd love to help you transform and rank advance and really kill it. And I appreciate you guys so very much. Have an amazing, amazing night. Talk to you guys soon. Bye, guys.